All right, guys. So join me as I composite the graduation image, right? So this is what we are working with. We're going to be adding this as a prop and this one as well to show the celebration. But this is the main background we are going to be working with. So join me as I walk you through how I am going to do the compositing. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is to crop the image, right? Get my cropping right. Yeah, keep it somewhere around there. Just stay on the background only. Enter. Then I'll use my lasso tool just to quickly fix all of this. Or since I have a more cleaner space, then you just use my rectangular marquee. Right click, select inverse, and just fill it up. Okay, content aware, it fills up. Good. Job done. So I'll try to keep it short. I wouldn't want it to be a very long unnecessary video. So just remove this with our remove tool. And after that is done, the next thing we're going to be doing is to clean up the background, like smoothing it out and get it clean. Okay. To make a selection of our objects use any technique of your choice, but I'm going to use my select subject. Then make a duplicate right here. Once I make the duplicate, I will create a mask for it. So we'll have our object on a separate layer. Then I'll reload the selection again, go back to my background and select inverse, make a duplicate again, then okay, I shouldn't select inverse, sorry. I'll just go to my select, go to my modify and expand what I had already. So maybe like 12 will be enough to give us that expansion. Or let's keep it smaller pixel for the purposes of the shadows in the image. Can I fill it up? Okay, let me just go to my edits, content aware fill, so we can get a preview of what it will look like once it's done. That should work for me. Then once it's done, it's gone. So this is it. I'm going to need to match this together. Match layers. Okay, so we'll now have our object on a separate layer. I'll have our background on a separate layer as well. The next thing we'll do is to clean this particular one up. And to do that, we'll go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Okay. Or rather, we can just leave it like that. Let's leave it like that. Bring in the background you are going to work with. So I'm going to unlock this one, use -2 and drag it over. Place it over here. So the next very important thing is to fit it in. So hold your alternate and scale it in. So I want her right in the middle of that spotlight. That is where I want her to be. So just keep it there. Nice one. Press enter. Then we need to match the lightening. What I mean by lightening is the luminosity level. If I create a black and white adjustment layer, I don't want to use blend mode today. Because if we put this on an overlay blend mode, it should work for us. Or multiply. The overlay should work, then smoothing out the original background. Or let's attempt doing it manually, right? We'll come over here, we'll come to black and white. So this tells us that our object is not as bright as our background. So we'll have two options. We can either decide to brighten up our object or decide to darken down the background. So let me brighten my object a bit. Click the curves on your object and just brighten it up like that. Okay, just a little. Then on my background, create a curve.
Add the other news. Add the other news.
What is it's a lot of So for my background, I'm going to also clip it and darken it down a bit, just slightly. Good, this works. So if I remove the black and white, we should be having a uniform luminosity level. So I think I'm not getting my my horizon line properly. So I just hold my shift and bring it down a bit and it looks better. So now it's time to bring back our shadow on this image. So to do that, we'll go back to the background we worked with, make a duplicate of it, then drag the second duplicate over this background, change the blend mode to multiply. So what multiply will do is that it will reintroduce the shadows, but it will mess the whole thing up. So what do? Go to our levels and try to lighten it up again so that it becomes clean. So we'll increase the lightness. So as I'm increasing it, I'm watching the way it's handling my own image. Before we do that, Control U, desaturate it as much as you can. So we are sure no more colors are left. Then use our multiply, our levels, and bring back our original light like this. Okay, so this technique is not working for this image. Well, let's keep going and see how much we can be able to do. If it doesn't work, I'm going to show you another technique that you can use to get your shadows back. Okay, so let me try smoothing it out and see how it will look. Does that work for me? No, it doesn't. So this is what we're going to do. Because my shadows will be on the floor, but I don't want the background affected. First thing first, I'm going to blur this one. So I'm going to clean this up like this. Is that my duplicate? No, it's not. Okay. I'm going to clean this up like this. Yeah. Just clean it up, okay? Then press OK. Then over here on your background, make a duplicate. Hide this one, then change the blend mode of this to overlay. So if I do before and after here, we should be able to be seeing some of our shadows back. Come over here, create a mask, and just restore a bit of it. So I don't want that shadow outside. I just want it within the box to give us that beautiful compact shadow. So have it right there. But we do not want to lose, all the brightness of the background. So come over here, create a mask, and remove the floor area. So just the floor area where the shadow is supposed to be. So we'll now have what we created here showing up on the floor of this while our background maintains its authenticity. That is what we did. Now to make this a bit more cinematic or more realistic, we'll just come over here, use a rectangular marquee tool, and use our lightening to create a depth between the object and the background slightly. So what I just did is I just brought all your focus on the object, because the object automatically becomes the brightest part. This is just the beginning. You can decide to stop here. It's already looking beautiful, but we can do more. The next thing I can do is that I can come over here and take my graduation. Of course, this should be behind my subject. Alright. So take this particular graduation prop. Okay. I think this is the wrong one that I brought in here. So just give me a minute. Let me bring in the other one. Okay, this one will lock it. So just place it right here. Position it exactly where we want it to be, which is directly behind our object. But of course, we need to make it work. First of all is that we need to correct the perspective. So just reduce this, okay? Need to correct the perspective. So to correct the perspective, hold your control and stretch it out from the edges. Push it in from the back. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make it match the angle of our own picture. So originally it was shot like it was shot from the top, but now we are trying to push it out to make it look like it was shot with this image. All right, then we can even use our shift and make it a bit taller. But still remember, make sure that you match the perspective. It's very, very important. Make it smaller, bring it backwards, okay, and maybe a bit taller. Spread out. Okay, so have few things to do. Number one, we need to create contact shadows for it, and we need to reduce the luminosity, the brightness of it. So come over here, you go to our curve and clip it on that particular prop, and just darken it down a bit like this. let's bring it down like this. Change the blend mode to luminosity. So it doesn't affect the color. Then our contact shadow. Come over here, double click on it and go to your drop shadow. So I'm going to reduce the size of it and place it directly on the floor like this. Make the opacity a bit stronger and maybe spread it out slightly so it looks like it's on the floor right there. Good. Press enter. Maybe push it up a little bit. I still think my perspective is to be corrected slightly more. Okay. Okay. Why do I feel like this works better? I think I prefer the waves. Making it look like it's standing. Just adjusting it to get something we would want to work with. Okay, here. What if we blend it in? What is it going to look like? That's definitely not going to be fine. All right, so I still need to bring it down a little. So I think I'm going to put my dimensions effect over here over it, so it also affects it just slightly. Yeah. So that when you look at the image, you are, practically looking at the object. So we just have to fix the feather. Okay, which one is responsible for that? So this needs the power. And needs to be feathered. Okay. Place it here. Nice one. Yeah. So if you feel it's still a bit too humongous, you can definitely just bring it down. Or you can leave it the way it is. Anything you feel. But I think I like it the way it's looking right now. Alright, the next thing we want to introduce in the shot is our glitters, which is this one over here. Use our move tool and bring it in. Just, spray it over the whole image like that. Maybe push it like this, so it doesn't affect our object. So once you just have that splash effect, nice one. Then create a mask for it and bring out your object on it. So just remove it from areas you feel you don't want it to touch. So I think there's no need to changing the blend mode. Or we can as well drop the opacity at the end of the day. It doesn't look distracting. They will blur it out slightly. Just a little bit. Okay, overlay works perfectly well. Alright, so next thing I want to do, just to add a little more drama, is to create a vignetting effect for this particular one behind my object. So I'll just come over here, go to curves, do something quite bright, right? Make it a hard brush. Press Ctrl I I can even attempt using a smooth. I think I have some smooth right here. Oh, I didn't save my smooth brush. Okay, so we can either just put it directly like this, right? Or we use a smooth. So let me try and see if I can apply a smooth to it. Okay, real cake, real put. Which one would work for us now? Should we use this or use this? Let's work with this one. Oh, that would give us a lot of let's work with this. So I'll just come over here, right? I need to create this into a brush so I can just use it and create that vignetting effect. So I'm going to first of all press Ctrl I, then press Ctrl L. So what I'm doing is I'm cleaning it up. If you don't do this part, when you define it as a brush, it's going to come out bad. You won't like the result you will get. So I'm cleaning it out to make sure the blacks are very contrasting and the whites are very contrasting. Once you get that, go to your edit, go to define brush preset. So let me just call it smooth 1. So you have it as a brush. See that? Come back to your objects right here. So remember we already created a curve. So if I just do it now, put it behind the lady like that, right? But I need it to be even behind the numbers. I don't want it on the number at all. I want it just on the background like that. So have it right here. We can even expand and we can feather it because we used curve. And we can change the color, right? So I think instead of working with curve, let me use a solid color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select maybe a color in her dress, something close to a wall color that still looks like the background a bit. Then use this mask and replace this one. So I can delete this one now. So this is what we have. Change the blend mode to Valet or soft light. Valet works. So we can now go around and see the best color we should apply. Let's try white. White is a good one. Blur it out or feather it out. So let's just load the property and feather what we have. Of course, we need to bring down the opacity as much as we can. So that gives us extra dimension, but at the end of the day, I do not like it. So press Ctrl Shift alternate E to create a stamp visible layer. Then go into your filter, camera raw filter. So what I'm going to do here is just to make things pop. Right, go into my vibrance all the way down to calibration. Here's my blue primary is like this. I think I like it better this way. Increase our highlight, just maybe a little bit of the S-pulse right here. Like that. So I need to apply a vignetting, something that works like this. Push it to the center. So when you look, you're just seeing my object. Beautiful. And this is how you create a graduation composite in Photoshop using everything manual. So we didn't do anything AI in this particular one. Maybe we can also look at our color lookups and see what it gives us. We didn't do anything AI in this one. Of course, we can create all of this in few minutes using ChatGPT, but we decided to go manual today, and I think I love the results we got at the end of the day. So let me show you the overall before and after. I create a snapshot right here. This was the image when we started, and this is what we have been able to create. Thank you so much for watching this amazing video. Do make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, and if you subscribe, click on the notification bell to get notified every single time we drop a new video. Until then, see you on the next step.